This video is in response to a question that I received recently on the subject of predeterminism and fatalism. And basically the question is based on the notion that the universe is like a movie burnt to a DVD, and the entire movie has already been burnt to the disc. There's no way to change it, and it's just basically unfolding and playing out, and we're just watching it, and we can't really do anything. So this person wants to know, since I tend to be more coming from a Taoist or I Ching or Chinese-based worldview, what are my thoughts on this, and do I think this is true? Because people such as Paramahansa Yogananda came to this conclusion, some contemporary people as well as Terence McKenna had also come to this conclusion. Now I think from a Taoist point of view, there's this whole idea of following the Tao, being in accord with the Tao, and then of course Wu Wei, which is non-action, non-active action, or just non-forcing action. So one can make a case that says, okay, well, this is basically saying predeterminism, but I think where these people are coming from is saying, oh, it's already burnt to the disc, it's unfolding, there's nothing we can do, so we just have to sit back and do nothing. And to me, that sounds kind of pessimistic and just a reaction to the paradigm and the worldview that we came up in, which is a monotheistic, creator, male-dominated worldview, which is very similar to the traditional Hindu worldview. And the worldview I'm speaking of is, of course, the traditional Christian monotheistic worldview. So if you're coming from both of those paradigms, then your obvious reaction is going to be, oh well, everything's already predetermined, the movie's burned to the disc, there's nothing we can do. Because these things are operating in your mind at a very unconscious level, because we start off as a kid with just kind of a blank slate as far as our symbolic conceptual worldview that we're putting together. So what happens is, at a very young age, when we're very open and very receptive, people load us up with that program of, this is how the world is, it's monotheistic, God created you, you're worthless, you're guilty, you're born with original sin, all of these things. And all of a sudden, of course, our reaction when we're doing some self-inquiry and some self-exploration and expansion of our consciousness, it's going to come to that conclusion of, oh well, way back when, this is what my parents told me about how reality was. But even though we're so far out and we're so kind of deluding ourselves in a way, thinking that we're past that and that we're on this path of consciousness, ultimately we're still bound and we're still trapped by those same original poison arrows, if you want to call them that. So from a Taoist point of view, there's this concept of the Tao, or the way, or the natural course of things, or the water course way, which basically you can look at it like life is kind of like a river, as cliche as it is, or an event is like a river, and there's certain currents you can get in, where if you get in them and you get the wind angled right on your back and you get everything set up, you can pretty much just coast along pretty easily without using very much effort at all. So it's kind of just using intelligence instead of effort. Whereas this more Western worldview is less intelligence, more effort, more hard work, more struggle, more discipline, more suffering, more self-sacrifice. All of those things, which probably sound very familiar to you, because this is what we've been brainwashed with, because of the culture that we grew up in. So, long story short, to put it succinctly, I think that one could make a case to say that things are to a degree predetermined and fatalistic, but I have to disagree in saying that this is a negative thing and this is a pessimistic thing. I think that we're all born with kind of a plan, or a mission or a role that we're supposed to fulfill. Some people just have it in them that they're going to be the best doctor in the world. Some people are going to be the greatest musician. Some people are going to be the greatest, chef. All these different things that are just kind of inherent as soon as we're coming out. It's just our natural predisposition, our natural character attraction, whatever it is. It's just something that we're just naturally drawn to. So in a way, you could say that's predetermined and that's fatalistic. But to me, that's a positive thing, because that's us fulfilling our purpose and doing the things that feel harmonious, that feel exciting, that feel rewarding, that feel energizing, and make us feel like we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're connected. We're feeling alive. We're doing all of the things that are actually making us feel good. Whereas there's the opposite side of that, whereas we might had one role, but instead we're doing what our parents told us we should be doing, and what good people do, and that's what it takes to be successful in all of these things. And we feel terrible, we feel like crap, we feel disconnected, we feel unhealthy, we feel stressed, we feel depressed. So sure, you could say that having your role or having your natural mission or your dharma or whatever you want to call it is kind of predetermined and fatalistic, but we still have the choice. We can still not adhere to that and not take that path. Just like if there's a river and it's flowing, you can choose to turn around and go up the stream, and it's going to be really hard and it's going to be a lot of work and you're going to burn a lot of energy, but you still have that choice. You can still do it, or you can just swim around in circles, or you can just go from shore to shore. You can do all these different things. You don't have to just coast down and follow the watercourse way. So to me, there's a certain degree of predetermined things and fatalistic things, but ultimately we have choice, and we have our inner self, we have our inner truth, and we have the things that resonate with us and feel right to us, that are beyond and basically transcending any of the cultural crap or false ideas that people are planting into us at an early age. And that's not something you can really logic out or reason out or think out. It's something that you feel deep down at a gut level that only you can really understand and only you can really interpret and interface with. So that's my answer to that question. It's a big subject, it's a big topic, I understand. I've done it a little bit of justice here, but this is obviously a subject that philosophers and spiritual people and just intellectuals throughout history have discussed at length. So, a 5 to 10 minute video is not really going to dig very deep, but hopefully I've been able to give you a good gist of where I'm coming from, and hopefully give you some good things to think about, some good things to kind of jump off of and further your own exploration. So if you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll talk to you soon.